How's it going, everybody? You got the Razman coming at you here with another video, and today I'm finally going to be able to give you my thoughts on the newest Marvel film, Ant-Man, on the Razman's reality. Alrighty, so as per usual with my reviews of films that are still in the cinema, the only thing we're going to be talking about in terms of plot is stuff that was in the trailer and bare bones basic essentials in order to give opinions about the film. There'll be nothing spoilery in terms of giving away twists, turns, anything that keeps you from enjoying the film. Also, if you've never seen a film review of mine before, just keep in mind that I am always terrible at remembering actor and actresses' names when I come out of a film that I don't see on a regular basis. So I always put the IMDb link down below in the description box for actors and actresses' names, and I normally refer to them by character unless I know them by their name, because I've seen them in a lot of stuff, which is the case of the 3 of the 4 lead actors in this film. So, this film revolves around Dr. Hank Pym, played by the tremendously iconic Michael Douglas. That's right, Michael Douglas is a freaking superhero. How awesome is that? But he plays Dr. Hank Pym, who years ago developed a suit which allows him to shrink down to the size of an ant to utilize ants for battle warfare and use ants as allies through technical prowess and the ability to communicate them on electronic wavelengths, and like I say, use them as allies for things that human beings simply cannot do. And through legend and through people thinking that they might have been losing their mind as well, he was dubbed Ant-Man. So Hank Pym is the original Ant-Man. And later on in life, he takes on a protege by the name of Darren Cross, who becomes obsessed with the fact that he knows that Pym is not telling him about the Pym particle technology. And the reason that Pym doesn't tell him about the Pym particle technology, beyond motivations that are spoilery that you learn later on in the film, is basically because he knew that in Cross's hands, Cross would not do the right thing with the technology. So fast forward 2 years later down the line, his daughter, who was estranged from him for various reasons, begins to work for Cross, but then comes back to Pym when she realizes how close Cross is to recreating the Pym particle technology. So the two of them work together, the two Pyms work together to stop Darren Cross. However, they realize through the fact that A, his daughter is too close to Darren Cross to suddenly disappear from his side because he would realize something is going on, and B, there are dangers that Hank Pym wants to keep his daughter out of, again through motivations we learn later on in the film, that they need someone else to take on the Ant-Man suit because of years of toll that it took on Hank Pym. So Hank Pym recruits Scott Lang. His daughter, by the way, is played by the great Evangeline Lilly, who I forgot to mention. But Scott Lang is played by Paul Rudd, and Scott Lang is a character who is an ex-con who has a daughter and wants to do right by his life, just wants a second chance to stop stealing. So these three work together to stop Darren Cross and destroy the technology and save the world, which of course they succeed in doing. So what are the strengths and weaknesses of the film? Well, we all know about, or should know by now anyway, about the problems that the film had early on when it dubbed director Edgar Wright, the same guy who did Hot Fuzz, Scott Pilgrim, Shaun of the Dead, all of those movies, to direct, and he was also executive producing and partly writing the screenplay for this film. Ant-Man was one of his all-time favorite superheroes. He didn't like the fact that Marvel had a particular formula that they like to follow in films, and they were taking it in a direction he didn't want to be a part of, so he left the project halfway through it. So that is the major weakness of the film, because a director takes over halfway through the project and they had things that they wanted to keep and things that they wanted to get rid of. Most of the time this film suffers from the simple fact that it doesn't know what it wants to be in terms of a film. Does it want to be a comedy, or does it want to be deadly serious? And it also creates a very, very weak villain in Yellow Jacket / Darren Cross, because Cross's motivations in the film are simply of the whiny child with the father figure. You know, it was literally like you could almost, instead of what he was saying for his lines, you could almost hear him say, "Oh my God, Daddy, why did you leave me? I don't understand why you don't love me. Why weren't you honest with me? Why didn't you turn the company over to me?" It was literally that basic and that annoying, and just was a huge turnoff, and probably the worst part of the film. With all that out of the way, however, this is still a 3.5 stars out of 5-star rating system film, because of the strengths of the performances of Michael Douglas as Hank Pym, Evangeline Lilly as Hope Pym, and Paul Rudd as Scott Lang. All three of these lead actors really truly nail the role of their characters and just what they needed to do in order to make themselves believable in this somewhat unbelievable scenario of, oh, there's technology out there that would allow a human being to shrink, and they're gonna ride on ants and use ants in battle. It sounds completely ludicrous, like most things in the comic book world do, but these three iconic and very strong actors and actress do a great job in bringing gravitas and reality to the film and really make it work. And a matter of fact, it was worked so well, in my opinion, that I enjoyed it better than Avengers Age of Ultron. I thought Avengers Age of Ultron, in terms of its deviation from the comic book origin, as well as not really knowing what its main focus wanted to be, and at times having too many characters in the film, was a much more problematic film than Ant-Man. And Ant-Man is a return, despite its issues, to what we all expect from Marvel. If you are a subscriber to my channel and you missed it, and you're on a device that allows you to click on annotations, you can click right there to go to my Q&A, as I will be answering questions next Monday. So if you have anything you would like to ask me, please feel free to do so. If you're not on a device that allows you to click on annotations, you can check my latest episode playlist and look for the video by title, which is Q&A next Monday, ask your questions. If you're new here and you like what you saw here today, please subscribe and know that I would love to see you again. I ask, as always, that you please like and share as well, because it will always help with views and I greatly appreciate it. And lastly, I ask all of my supporters to please consider becoming a Patreon sponsor. Any donation you can make, no matter how big or small, goes right back into the Razman's Reality YouTube program and allows for better content for all of you, my viewers. As always, this is reality according to the Razman, and Razman style is not just a catchphrase, but a way of life.